Hugh Grant monologues about religion for nearly 2 hours in Heretic, brought to us by the writers of A Quiet Place, Scott Beck and Brian Woods, and I really enjoyed his performance here. I like the idea of utilizing an actor like Grant, known for his inherent charm, and twisting it to something a lot more sinister, and he's clearly having a lot of fun playing against type, making very odd comparisons for the various religions in all of his ramblings, sometimes doing so in mocking voices that are played up for some dark humor. And while the performances of Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East as the two Mormon missionaries who he toys with are really solid as well, while the claustrophobic direction from Beck and Woods was also really well crafted, I'd say Grant is the one really carrying most of this film on his shoulders. And if there'd be a reason to watch this, it's due to him, and that's especially because the film could be a bit on the tedious side. A lot of this is Grant tossing around a lot of hypotheticals to the two girls, or drawing all these parallels, sometimes even using visuals to support his statements, and it feels like a mix of a thesis for a paper and a conversation taking place on a Twitter thread or Reddit forum that can go on for longer than it probably should. And after the fifth or sixth monologue, while Grant himself makes it a little entertaining, it can feel repetitive to the point of almost a little aggravating. And I think for how long this movie goes on, with it being mostly filled by the structure, we could have condensed or cut down some of the speeches, especially as it makes the film feel so stagnant. Now, I'd say once we reach the halfway point and it at least starts changing up the dynamics a bit, even if never fully shying away from its overall dialogue-heavy structure, it's at least where it feels like things start moving along, and the atmospheric direction really comes into play nicely in these moments, and it gets to a point where I'd say it definitely ends on a stronger note than it began. So I'd say it makes for an overall positive watch, but its repetitive monologuing definitely held me back from loving it. I do want to see Hugh Grant more roles like this though, because again, he was great here.